afternoon, everyone. How is everyone doing today? It's a joy to see so many faces in the crowd today. We have been blessed with interest. So a few of you are settling in still and getting those good hors d'oeuvres that we had in the other room. I hope you're enjoying those. We just want to get the meeting started here and kick off our first ever Mount Carmel Bluffs meet and greet and construction update. That deserves a round of applause. It's an exciting time. As many of you know, I'm Meredith Eubanks, and I'm the housing advisor here on campus. With me is Carrie Simpson, a team member of our Sisters of Charity group that we've partnered with to make this possible. And together we would like to sincerely thank you for being here. Without you, we wouldn't be where we are today. We've been blessed, like I said, with curiosity, interest, and excitement about our project here on the bluff for a couple of years, which is saying something. So we're thankful you're here and on this journey with us. We appreciate your choice and your faith in us to live well here on the bluff. The Sisters of Charity, along with the Presbyterian Homes and Services organization, have come together in partnership to honor the past, live within the present, and blend both to create a unique and special place for you all to call home. Both organizations have long-running histories and are rich histories in honoring God through their ministries. The BVMs established in Philadelphia in 1833, and Presbyterian Homes and Services opening its doors to their first community in 1955. So you are in good hands. And speaking of, I want to turn the mic over. I'm excited to introduce you to more of our team. And David, who will give you your construction update. But before we get too far, I'd like to invite Laura Nissen, who is our Resident Services Director, up to lead us in a word of prayer.
Thank you, Meredith, and welcome all. Heavenly Father, thank you for the blessing of being together today. Thank you for the reminder of renewal that spring represents to us. You spring forth a new season and a new adventure for us. We are expectant of your goodness this new community represents. Please prepare us for all the new and wonderful plans you have for our lives. Help us let go of things that hold us back, the things that do not bring us to life, or the things that keep us living in the past. Help us bring our best selves to our new community where good friends, both old and new, will spring forward in our journey with you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura, for that wonderful prayer. Now would be a good time to pull out that little welcome gift if you want to take a few notes. We hope you enjoyed those, and I am going to introduce a couple of folks, and then we're going to turn it over to David. So again, that was Laura Nissen. She works on our Mount Carmel Bluffs campus, along with our myself as the housing advisor, and Sarah Rentz, which she may have snuck off, so we'll introduce her a little bit later. But she is a part of our Mount Carmel Bluffs team. With our Sisters of Charity, we have our board member, Terry Hadro. If you could give us a wave there, Terry. Thank you. And then Carrie Simpson, who is our Director of BVM Community Life Services. And with our partnership, we also have folks who work tirelessly off campus as well. And we have two of those members in the audience. First is Libby Newland. She is our marketing gal. And then David Palmer, who is up next on the mic with your construction update as our developer for our project here on campus. So enjoy the update, and you can ask your construction questions at the end.
Thank you, Meredith. Can everybody hear me okay? I've got a few remarks I'm going to share, but while I'm doing that, if you want to kind of position yourself to see the screen, I've got some progress slides set up that we're going to go through, and I'm going to just kind of show you our progress this far in a couple of minutes. So, like Meredith said, my name's David Palmer, and I work for Senior Housing Partners, Presbyterian Homes. So Senior Housing Partners is the development part of Presbyterian Homes. I've been with Presbyterian Homes 15 years, and then kind of been with the development group for 6. And I've been coming down to Dubuque on this project for over 2 years. I started down here about halfway through phase 1 in March of 2020. So, Senior Housing Partners, in the late 80s, the PHS board made the decision to expand the mission to serve more people. So by making that decision, they kind of made a conscious effort to kind of start to add more properties to serve the residents of the Twin Cities through. SHP was formed in 1997 to accelerate the development of new communities for the fulfillment of the PHS mission. So SHP has developed over 100 communities since 1997. We're currently working to develop 20 communities in 8 different states. So our team members for the development here include Pope Architects. So Pope Architects are based out of St. Paul, Minnesota. They were formed in 1974. And they have developed over 15 projects with Senior Housing Partners. So they're kind of an industry leader in senior housing. Then our general contractor is a local company, Conlin Construction. So Conlin was founded in 1903, and in kind of doing a little research for this event, I believe they started work up here on the bluff in 1928. And I saw the first invoice for that project. Was really different from what I look at nowadays. So the Conlin family has a deep history with the Sisters of the Blessed Virgin Mary, dating back almost 100 years. Conlin has partnered with the Sisters in the planning, feasibility, and development of almost every major addition and renovation of Mount Carmel since that time. So they've been a great partner to work with on the first phase and the second phase as we're kind of trying to get the building built. So I have a few kind of fun facts about the building. So we are building 249,000 square feet. So almost 250,000 square feet is going into the new area. Of that, the apartments are 70% of that square footage. So 174, so I'm kind of a math geek, I'm sorry. You're going to get some numbers here today. So about 70% or 174,000 square feet. The rest is common space, which is about 23,000 square feet or 10%. And then the parking garage is 40,000 square feet. And that has 92 spaces. So you guys all came in through phase 1 and came up here to the mother house in the dining room. So in this building, part of our town center is going to be in this building. So this room is the independent living or terrace dining room. Then down the hall we have our bistro, and a little further down we have our club room. And then downstairs, right below, is the salon. And then you will exit this building and you'll end up in the atrium or the connecting area to phase 2 or the independent living. So I have some slides I think that'll show this a little clearer. Is that better? Is that good? Yes. Okay. Okay, so here's our rendering. This is what we started from. This is our goal. So we're doing pretty good. As you can see, the mother house is a little bit to the left, and then kind of here, we're in this building, and then this is the phase that we're building right now. Here's our site map. So you would have, pardon me, you would have come in up here. You probably parked in one of these lots. You came in through here and walked over right in that building right now. So this is the connection point, the atrium, and this is where all of the new construction is. So one more time, I guess I got plenty of slides here. So here we are in this room right now, and down this hall is where the club room is. Here's the bistro area. Here's the library, and then we can kind of continue on here into the new building. The atrium then kind of opens up. We have theater here. We have an entrance here, and then all of the blue is apartments. And up here we have a little administration area. Here's our rendering of what we're going to have for the atrium. As you can see, it's going to be incredible. So right at this area here is where we'll come in. The porte-cochere is behind here, and then this is glass all the way through. It's going to be beautiful. You can see up here on the second floor, you'll be able to come out here and look into this space, and you'll be able to come from the second floor of the mother house here and look into this space. So here's a picture that I took in June of 2021. So we are just starting. Here's kind of a shot from the other direction. So again, up here's where we would have come in. Came down here, you guys parked in this area and came in through the door right here. All right, so this is now July, and we're looking in, I'm standing at the garage door, looking into what's going to be the garage. Here you can see our footings starting to go in. One of the things I'd point out here is if you look at this, you'll notice this is, we call this a Sawtooth Design. And this is, in this space transfers up into the living rooms of all of the apartments above and opens up views down the river. I have some shots of those later here. So this was taken from the mother house. This is where our wellness area is going to be. And the key part here is you can see the pool starting to take shape. So this rectangle here is ultimately where the pool is going to end up. And then this is just kind of all garage, all footings and supports, part of construction. Just another shot of kind of the work. So now we're into August. And this is how far we've progressed in August. This is September, so our room's down in the lower level. So this one is kind of where the exercise equipment is going to be. On this side, this is our aerobics room. And then back here, you can see this is the room where the pool is. Our locker rooms are here on either side. So now we're into October. And as you can see, oops, wrong button. As you can see, the foundation is starting to get done, and we're putting on what's called the plank, the precast plank. More of the foundation work, more of the plank getting installed. So we got part of the plank finished and covered, and the framers started framing back here. And that allowed us to then have the precast guys continue, but we got this part going. We didn't want to wait until all the work got done out to the end to start the framing. So it was kind of a sequencing that we did to save time during construction. Just another shot. You can see the cranes here. There's a crane right in the middle here. They semi-in all of the plank, crane it up, put it into place. It's kind of like a big Lincoln log set. So now we're in November, and you can see that the part that they started on, they've got part of the roof on. This we'll get a little better shot of is the elevator shaft coming up through the building, and they've got the rest of the foundation and first floor on. Just another angle here, November, elevator shaft getting worked on. So now we're in January, and we've got the roof on, whoops. We've got the roof on, and now we've got 2 floors framed out on the rest of the building. Another shot. So here's the atrium. So as you can see, we're doing pretty good. You can see all the wood arches and everything that we saw in the rendering. This is from the riverside of the apartment. Now for your reference, this is that club room space. We're back in this corner of the building right now. So that's kind of the proximity to phase 2. Now we're into February. Here's March. Started getting the roof on this portion. I forgot to change the date. This picture was taken this trip a couple days ago. They've started the brickwork on one of the end units. So now this is the end with the garage door here. Some of the decks getting framed. Here you can see that sawtooth part. See how it's kind of angled? So all of these look out and have spectacular views. This was a picture I took last night. So this is as up to date as the exterior is. Getting very close to having all the roofing on. A lot of the windows are in. All right, so that was outside. So now we're down in the garage. So this is with my back to the garage door. As you can see, we're starting to get, wrong button. We're starting to get our plumbing in. Here's some of our hot water and sprinkler piping that needs to go through the building. It's down in the garage. This is going to exhaust the exhaust in the garage. Okay, so now I'm to just strictly the pool progress pictures. So I've got like 3 or 4 pictures here, just the pool area. Here's the hot tub. So that's as far as the pool is currently. Here's our wellness office. So this is outside the pool. We always kind of design these to look into the exercise room and across to the aerobics room. That way our wellness director has eyes on kind of what's going on in the areas. Okay, now we're up a floor or 2, and this is fairly recent, so we've got a lot of the framing done, and we're starting to do some of the sound insulation throughout the building, so that noise doesn't transfer any more than what it has to. Here you can see that we have a lot of the mechanical systems starting to go in down the corridors. More of the same. This is all electrical lines kind of running up and through the building here. So this is up in the attic. So this is an area where there's going to be an air handler. A lot of the buildings we build now have very nice catwalks through them all for the different guys, crews that need to get up and service the equipment and just kind of be up in the attic. one of the air handlers. Okay, so now I'm in one of the units. So we've started with all of the different trades coming in and doing what we often refer to as MEP, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. So as you can see, we have a lot of electrical boxes going in. In this photo, you can see this is kind of one of the kitchens here, so you can see a lot of the plumbing waste lines going in here. You can see a lot of the different outlets and switches. If you look up into the truss system, you can see a lot of the wiring that's kind of laid in there. Just more work that we're doing in the units. This is the mechanical closet. So in this unit, every unit has its own heating and cooling system. So you'll be able to control with the thermostat your apartment, and the unit is actually in the apartment. And then up on the 4th floor, we've started to insulate, and this is what they blow in insulation in the ceilings, and they put up this webbing here to hold the insulation up. And then part of the sound system you can see is this channel that they then screw the drill to. And that just helps with noise transfer, having that channel in. And now we're to the last 4 or 5 pictures that I have. So this is one of the views. I want to say this is probably 3rd floor in one of the units that is out, that looks down the river. Here's kind of one of them back in the trunk of the building. So we have the 2 kind of wings that go out. This is kind of back in the main part of the building. Fantastic view. And then this is even the view out the non-river side, that I think some of the guys locally here were saying that this is about 5 miles that you can see out the back side of the bluff here. And that was my last slide. All right, so right now, I think we have 18 or 19 different trades on site. So we have framers, roofers, siders, masons, carpenters, plumbers, electricians, both low voltage and high voltage, pipe fitters, fire sprinkler system installers, tin benders, earth movers, insulators, fireproofers, sheetrockers, elevator contractor. We have crews that come in and do core drilling, and we even have some painters on site. So that was kind of everything that I had prepared. That kind of gets you everybody up to speed with where we're at. So our coming kind of main milestones are going to be, getting all the windows installed. Making us weather tight is a big milestone to get to. And I think we're about 3 weeks away from that, to having the roof complete, all the windows in. It might have been 4. I think it was 1st of June. So maybe about 4 weeks from that. And then just getting the different mechanical systems in. So what we do is we finish, so we build from the ground up, and then we finish from the top down. So all of the trades go up and start on the 4th floor, and then work their way down and out of the building. So, are there any questions that I can answer about kind of our construction process, construction update?
I have a question about this scene on the screen. Is that a forested area? Is that part of the Carmel Bluffs property, or is it part of the periphery of the city of Dubuque?
Sure. So the question was, is the area that we're looking at here out the window of the 3rd floor, is it part of Mount Carmel Bluffs, or is it kind of the greater area? And I would say, and maybe somebody else can help me, part of this is for a while, but then there are houses and there's a neighborhood kind of down below here. So there's a kind of valley that you can look at off to the side that's part of the property here, and then there is a neighborhood down below. Good question. Yes?
The atrium is beautiful, and I like the idea that you can go out and look onto the atrium. If I live on the 4th floor of the atrium and I want to go to the 2nd floor of the mother house, do I fly across?
So the question is, I'm going to rephrase your question a little bit, is how do I get from this building to the other building? So the answer to that is, on the level with the wellness center or the garage, the buildings connect. So that's kind of lower level. Then first level, which we are on here, they connect, and you'll be able to walk without any steps out through this building into the atrium onto the phase 2 in the independent living. Otherwise, you're going to have to go down, over, up, and back. So those are the 2 levels that we connect on. Yes?
Are there elevators at each end of the hallways?
That's a good question. Yes. Elevators. Let me see if I can get to the building plan that I had. There are 4 elevators, 2 banks of 2. So let me push through and start over. Yeah. Oh, well, I'll show you in kind of this weird form. So there are elevators right here. So you come into the atrium through the front door or from this building, and there is a bank of 2 elevators here. And then down here at this entrance, there's another bank of 2 elevators here.
What about animals?
What about animals? I have to defer that to one of the operations people. I assume you're asking about pets. I should clarify. Is your question about pets?
Yes, your question's about that.
Pets.
Yeah, I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's a great question. We do allow pets, and there is a policy that goes behind that, and a deposit with that as well. So we do allow pets in the building. We don't have too many yet in the reservations that I've taken, but that is a possibility for people to bring their furry friends with them.
Yeah.
Another question, is there a general emergency exit protocol designed for this complex? If something were to happen, a storm or what have you, how does the building clean itself out?
So we're built to a wind and storm kind of standard, and I want to say it's 140 miles an hour. A lot of the products on the building are built to that. For fire and just fire exits, we've built within the correct codes and have the correct distances that for hallways to exits to stairways, that sort of thing. As far as the procedure for the building for any storms beyond normal storms, I don't know exactly what the policy is. Does anybody know of a storm policy? No? Okay.
We certainly have always had storm policies within our facilities. I'm sure that will extend to the new buildings.
Yeah, thank you. Yep.
In writing.
Sure.
And with many of our processes, we are still working on things as we go, but as Karen said there, thank you, Karen, we go out to you, so all of that material will come to you just at a little later date. Good question.
Yeah.
I know this is too soon,
but like, who's gonna hang my pictures?
So the question was, who's going to hang my pictures? So typically, that sort of thing is done by family members. Depending on site staff availability and how busy they are, sometimes our site staffs can provide that service. But I would say with a new building opening, the maintenance crews learning the site, the labor market the way it is, I wouldn't necessarily count on that being something that they could provide immediately the day that you move in. Yeah, Terry.
David, it might be helpful to point out where the stairwells are.
Sure, absolutely. So we do have several stairwells. So you can kind of see them here and here. There's a main stairwell here. One at this end of the building. I think there's one here mid-building. So 1, 2, 3, 4 different stairwells. So I know that, during the whole planning process, there's regulations about how many feet that there's a maximum number of feet that you can have to walk to get to the fire exit to get out of the building. And obviously the building is being built within all of those regulations. Yes.
I'm watching them doing the bricking at the end. Are the 4 colors and the various arrangements of that exterior going to look like Vista and Gables?
So the question is, are we going to look like phase 1 with the different bricks? And the answer is yes. I want to say that we were able to get the same manufacturer on all of them except one. So one of the other things I kind of wanted to address and talk about, I know a lot of people have on their mind that, we have supply chain issues, we have different challenges in that arena. And, I would share at this point that our contractor, Conlon, has done a very good job of kind of working to not have those issues come up. So we have a schedule for construction, and with 3 years ago, you would just call up suppliers and say, hey, in 3 weeks I need a truckload of this. Well, now we have schedules for the procurement of all of our materials and are working months in advance with them to make sure we have enough drywall, enough insulation, all of these different products, down to appliances, down to just kind of everything. So it doesn't mean that something isn't going to come up, but we are working very hard and in communication regularly with our suppliers.
Based on the wonderful progress that you have accomplished to date, those of us who are living here are wondering, when should we get our things together to move in? I know it's impossible to give an exact date, but we know from the first phase that we waited just a little bit, not too long, and that could happen now too, but we thought you might know more.
So stay tuned. So the question was, when are we going to be done? And right now we're sticking with late 2022, early 2023. So it's the same message that Meredith has been giving. I would love to tell you an exact date, but I'd probably, as you know from phase 1, have to change that. Yes, that's the answer that we're going to give. When we get closer, we will kind of try to hone in on that. Yeah, Terry.
I was just going to ask you to comment on the yellow areas within the terrace itself. There's some nice amenities that you might want to know about.
Yeah, thank you. Terry asked me to comment. So on this floor plan, all of the blue area is apartments. The pink area is kind of administration areas, and then the orange areas are kind of amenities or resident spaces. So on every floor going up in this pocket, we have a lounge. So there'll be nice furniture, some bookcases there in this area that that residents will be able to enjoy however they would like to. We have resident storage here that Meredith can set you up with extra storage in these areas here and here. We have this area on first floor is a lounge, but on the 3 floors above, on second, third, and fourth, we have an activities room, we have a game room, and we have a billiards room. And they're for everybody to use as we go up each floor. And then here you can see the theater. Here we have kind of public restrooms. Here we have our conservatory area. And then out here is a patio area. And then down a floor is where we have the wellness. Did I put the lower level? I don't think, I'm sorry, I did not put the lower level slide in here.
I don't think you did, no.
Sorry about that. So in the wellness area, we have the pool that we looked at, and then we have a room with exercise equipment, so there'll be some new steps, some different strength training equipment, there'll be some treadmills, and then across the hall from that area is the aerobics room where on a regular basis, I don't know how often, but we do kind of group exercises, chair exercises, that sort of thing. Yes?
Would you explain what the bistro is going to be about? This is the prairie dining room, but there's another dining room for everybody?
Yeah, so the idea behind the bistro is an area that can kind of serve guests to the building that don't necessarily want to eat in the dining room. The idea is some different grab-and-go items, coffee, some different beverages, some prepared food in that nature. You know, that type of food. I know as we are kind of coming out of COVID, so during COVID, a lot of the bistros through our different sites were shut down just to kind of limit exposure. And I know that as phase 2 is opening, I believe it's the goal is to kind of open up the bistro and have that be an amenity here on site too.
It's open all day long, is it? Or?
No, it'll have specific hours that it'll be open, and they'll be published, and you know there'll be kind of like an hours. Once we get staffing for it, and once we get a little closer, we'll get some information out about that. Yeah.
Is there a central place where we'll get our mail, or is it delivered to each floor?
That's a good question. The question was, is there a central place to get mail? And the answer is yes. I missed that spot. So the mail area is right here, kind of right in the heart of the building, and everybody's mail will go to the mail room there. It's a very good question. Yeah.
Another question, what type of flooring, finished flooring, will be used in the hallways?
What type of finished flooring will be used in the hallways? So out through the wings of the building, towards all of the apartments, it's carpet. In the different common areas, I don't have the finished schedule memorized, but like in the atrium, there very well could be some different hard surface floorings. At entryways, some different hard surface floorings, that sort of thing. So, but I'd be safe in saying the majority of it is carpet.
In the entrances to the building, because of our Midwest location, are there double doors like there is in the gables? A double door so that you don't just open up and all the cold air just comes right in?
Yes, the question was, are there double doors at the entrances? The main entrances, yes, in the atrium, And the other entrance here, yes, double doors. The stairwells, no. But a lot of people don't use those that often, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Okay, a couple more, yes.
Will we be able to look, I know what unit I'm going to have. Will I be able to come and see it before I move in so I know what furniture?
Sure. The question is, will I be able to see my unit before I move in? And the answer is, we don't know how far ahead of moving in that'll be. So sometimes cities will allow us to do what we call a dusty shoe tour. And we haven't even approached the city yet because we're a ways away. But you will definitely, once we get our certificate of occupancy, the kind of magic hurdle that we get over where the city says the building is safe for the general public to be in, after that point, yes, you would be able to see it. Yeah, yes.
Question about the food plan. I know we can get a food plan, but is the food service that now serves Vista and Gables and Arbor also going to provide the food for food plans for that 116 apartments?
So,
like a lot for them to do.
Yeah, so the question is about food plans, and I don't know the answer to that. Can somebody kind of help me out with the answer?
I will step in for that one, David. That's a great question. For independent living apartments or our terrace apartments, for our phase 2 that you're reserved for, we don't have a specific set meal plan. We understand you have your fully furnished kitchens along with the option to dine, but we want to stay flexible to fit your needs when you need that. We don't want you to not be utilizing a plan per se. That doesn't mean that you cannot dine with us. We welcome you to sit right here where you are today. We do have what we consider to be a little bit of a reservation process. So just like if you go out and you make a reservation with a dining establishment in the town, you do the same thing. You would just call down to our receptionist about 24 hours notice just to give us a heads up. And then we'll take note of that on our records. And then we will have that amount for the meal put right on your bill, and that will come out. So we just want to stay flexible for your lifestyle and kind of meet you where you are with that.
How are we doing time-wise? Can I take a couple more?
Maybe one more.
One more. All right. Here we go.
How are the floors in the individual apartments finished?
So the question is, how are the floors in the individual apartments finished? So the bedrooms and living room in the majority of the apartments have carpet. The kitchen has an LVT or luxury vinyl tile, kind of a wood look tile through that area. And then the bathrooms have a sheet good of vinyl sheet good. So, okay, were there one last one? Okay.
Are you saying the living room area is carpeted?
Yes. The living room area is carpeted.
That's interesting. So just the kitchen is not? Correct.
The kitchen's in the bathroom, and then where the laundry is, there's also a solid or vinyl floor.
Dining area?
Dining area depends on the layout. Well, thank you all very much. What's next, Meredith?
Well, thank you, David. Let's give David another round of applause. We are so lucky and blessed to have him on our team. He is our go-to guy. So again, thank you, David. I hope that you got a lot of questions answered and a lot of insight, and that your excitement has only grown. So we have a long way to go, but we are making progress every day. And you can look outside and see progress. So we just want to thank you again for coming. We invite you to go back and grab more food and mix and mingle. You should have gotten a mix and mingle bingo card. So if you fill that out and put that on the podium, you are eligible for a prize. So the point is to not only get our construction updates from David, but to come and really build the community before we move into our community. So have a wonderful evening ahead, and we will see you next time.